Good evening and welcome to Separated by Water, the podcast ostensibly for Irish fans of English teams, but we're much broader than that. My name is Colin Campbell. I'm a Tottenham Hotspur season ticket holder. My co-host and good friend is Paul Galt, a lifelong Nottingham Forest. And we'll refer to both those teams as we go along. But I think, Paul, tonight the big topic is a bit of a deep dive into Manchester United and how well they've been doing more recently. How's that?
Yeah, it's timely because I think we have them this weekend. You have them the week after next. I watched the
Yeah.
Forest game on Sunday in the company of Man United supporters, and I had forgot why I dislike Man United supporters as much as I do, but now I remember. Yeah, they're just as known, but they're terrible at paying bets. That's out there for you. You'll know who you are. Terrible for paying bets. Yeah, tonight we'll dig into that. We'll dig into Spurs, how they're doing under Thomas Frank. They're usually having a bit of an up and down season, and then we'll talk about Forest at the end. We've no guests with us tonight, so I asked some Man United and Forest supporters to send us in their predictions for the game on Saturday. Anthony hopefully will come back to me before the end of the thing. He had a prediction for tonight's game with Newcastle for yourselves. So we'll talk about all that. What do you think about the Man United revival, Colin? Is it nailed on that Amorim's working now, or what's happening? What do you give me your opinion?
Yeah, I think there are two parts to it, and I'll try to be clear, which one's which. And I will be objective. Yeah, it's worrying, subjectively. Objectively, I can see things coming together. And a couple of our belief and commitment words I use. And I think, talking about the Brighton game in particular, United have had a very poor record against Brighton in recent years. And they needed to break that hoodoo, and they did. But part of the subplot to me was that Brighton had got back into the game. It was 3-2. And on this occasion, United pressed and got a fourth. And they've done well. And I think they have done well. I think tactically they seem to be gelling a bit better. The players they're always going to win at Anfield. That was just written in the stars. And maybe their win against Sunderland looks a wee bit better than it might have at that time, given Sunderland's recent victory and their season-long performance so far. So if it was a United fan, I'd be it's taking shape. And one of the things I would attribute that to, I've mentioned it before, I'm saying it again formally, is that the statement I've made about the manager about 4 or 5 weeks ago, to effectively say that he was staying. He used the term, I think, merits evaluation at the end of 3 years, which is management speak for saying, I want him to see out his contract. Now, why is that important? I think it was important because it settled everyone at the club, not least the manager. But if any of the players were agitating or hoofing around thinking, we'll turn him, we'll get rid of him, they realised that wasn't going to be the case. And I think that United players all settled, pulled together. It's amazing what a few words can do. I know Jim Ratcliffe is not liked by many at Manchester United because of the draconian cost-cutting exercises he's brought in, but that's up to him. I can't comment on that. What I can comment on is, in my opinion, on how I think his words have galvanised United and brought them back together. Why is that important? We've had this debate about Man United over the last while on this podcast, and I've said that I think, they're still one of the biggest teams in the world, but there is a danger they could lose their power to buy the top players. I think if they hang in here around the Champions League positions by Christmas, I think they can make another move. And I think they might go for one or two more game-changing players, as I call them. And that's a worry for the rest of us. So, I think...
I suppose whenever you look at it, Colin, it is a big thing, and we'll talk Spurs and we'll talk about Forest in a minute or two. Sure. I think having no games in the middle of the week in Europe certainly leaves them in a stronger position that they can spend more time on the training ground. They're avoiding less likely to pick up injuries if they're playing less games and less strain on the team. But momentum's a massive, you know. Once you get a goal, once you get a game under your belt, you win it in the second game, the momentum goes with you, and you start to believe that you can continue to win. You know.
Well, you're right. I mean, there's a concept. There's a concept that I believe in, and they call it the 3 stages. It's hope, belief, and expectation. We all hope we're going to win. Many of us believe we can win, but you're at the higher echelon when you get in there and you're expecting to win because you're going to darn well do everything. And teams who expected to win over the years got the last minute winner. You know, got the one goal and then in the 0-0 draw, if you know what I mean. 5-goal thriller, you know. And that's the expectation level when you just go right to the end. And maybe United are getting there, and that's worrying. High ball, few reds. Oh dear, right, okay.
Yeah, that's I'll play a video of Amma later on. He sent us in a lovely video. Just
Thank you.
That's the guy. There's a guy Colin. I think it's Colin Smith. There, we are back. I rest my case about Man United supporters. Always the same. Rabbit.
Well,
rabbit. Anyway, yes, we have. What is their players? Do they have the depth and strength, Colin? You have to look at the team there. You've got the old. Still a lot of the old heads knocking about the place, and do they have the strength and depth to take it and go on and win the league? You must be worried at this stage that Arsenal are looking very, very strong to win the league.
I am. Well, that's a slightly different question. Do I think United can win the league? No. Therefore, I don't think they will win the league. Are they a lot closer now than they were at the start of the season? Lord, I think on Bale coming in, I think the forwards coming in has been good. They're strong, they're agile, they're eager, and they're starting to fit in well. I think Harry Maguire, for all the negativity around him, there's something likable, but believe it or not, there's a lot not to like maybe something likable, but he got the winner against United. He's the sort of guy who will do that. And I think he's going to have a big season. But I think United need 3 or 4 game changers. I think the goalkeeper will be okay, the new one. But I think they're still a wee bit short. But, for United fans, they may not admit it out loud, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of relief that they're hanging about 4th, 5th, and 6th than 14th, 15th, and 16th.
So if you were to summarise, you would say that this is it signals a genuine return of form, but there might be tougher tests ahead. Would that be a fair way of putting
it? Yeah, I think they're playing closer to as good as they can. Yeah. With this team, with the squad, And I think wherever they are, I mean, with the games over Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, league positions change. They were 4th, they're not now. But up in that area. Yeah, as I said about, I think they're in level 2 with Spurs, Newcastle, Villa, might have been Forest. That they're going for the extra Champions League place or 3rd and 4th. I still see Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, and City as the top, and then the next one could be Spurs, Villa, Newcastle, maybe a couple of others, Brighton and Brentford, and Bournemouth, maybe, in that area. And that's where I think United are now. I think Tottenham and United are there rather than where the hell they were last year, 16th and 17th, respectively. Yeah.
Fair enough. Your predictions of going in next week. Just thanks for the comments, guys. Keep them coming. It helps us. It adds to the whole thing. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to it and try and get us up over the 150 mark. We've another comment. Nobody talks about Chelsea's Maresca is 1 year ahead of Amorim, and Chelsea are an absolute shambles. Outside of Palmer, I don't know, Colin. United ahead of them already. I'm not sure you're ahead of them already yet, Colin. Once again, this is what Chelsea have been consistently, I think, playing well. Surely every team loses every now and again, but I don't. Would you say Chelsea's ahead of, or Man United's ahead of Chelsea?
Me? No. Well, I predicted Chelsea would win the league. Now, and they come to Spurs They come to my place next week, and I so hope they lose 2 in a row. I think Chelsea are a shambles in a certain way. I know Colin probably means that they're a mess. I think Chelsea have always been a bit of a wrecking ball, but they keep winning. They're a winning machine. I've said that before.
See, they
Change
scare me.
manager, change every damn thing, and they keep winning. You know? Yeah, and I think I've seen enough of them better than Man United at the minute. You know, recent results notwithstanding. I think they are. I think Chelsea will finish higher than Man United this season. And I did predict it when the league, and I think there's still a story to be told there. So no, sorry, Colin. Colin doesn't agree.
So they're coming. Man United are coming to the City Ground at the weekend, Colin. Before I play the video predicting that, how do you feel that's going to go? And just before you go that, while you're thinking that, I just want to thank Jill and Justin for our invite over to the hospitality suite. We are delighted to receive that from you, and we will be there. The flights are booked. We're en route, and we look forward to seeing you for the Spurs game. On that, Colin, I didn't mention this to you, but maybe I have a challenge for you. I don't know who'll come out on top on this one. The Spurs game, you're going to be at the City Ground for the first time in your life. Is that correct? Have you ever been there before? No.
Yes. Well, no, I was there 1978. Right. It was a long time. It was Tottenham's first game and with Osvaldo Ardiles and Ricky Villa. It was a 1-1 draw. Ricky scored. But it was an absolute mess. I'll not tell you the state I was in. I didn't see too much. Those are the days when you queued up at the gates to get in. You know, so you sort of got in half an hour into the game.
Anyway, well, my challenge to you is you're coming to City Ground in December. We watch it that night. Whoever wins hands over their jersey for the other one to wear on the podcast the following week. So if you win, I'll have to wear a Spurs jersey and vice versa. Are you good with that?
Yes, I'll take that. Yeah, our away form at the minute, you know, God knows what happened by them. Our away form at the minute is surprisingly good, you know. Okay, well, cheers, shake your hand there on that one,
Right, done deal. Okay, right, so your prediction for the weekend. Your prediction for the weekend, Forest against United. United coming to the City Ground. Can we knock them off their perch? Can we put a pin in their bubble, burst their bubble?
I think you have the players to do so. I have a funny feeling, you know, maybe the Sean Dyche revolution stalled a little bit. Great result against Porto. Poor result against Bournemouth, although Bournemouth are no dozers. I think there could be a wee bit of fun here. And I have a funny feeling that Forest will sneak this.
Yeah,
so there you are.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right. As I said, we've no guests this week. I'm going to play 2 videos. The first one I'm going to play is the Man United predictions. We have predictions from Dave, Charlie, the Kelly family, Cal Kinsella, and if I missed anybody out there, I'll do in a minute. So we'll play this, Colin, listen to it, let the guys have their say. We have literally, you'll see, I put the who they support before they speak, and so we'll go now and see what they say.
Okay. My prediction, 2-1 Man United. I think Ahmad and Mbeumo. So, Marcus.
Yeah.
Predictions: Forest United.
3-1 United.
Scores.
Bruno and Cunha will put United 2-1 or 2-0 up. Gibbs White will pull one back, and then Mbeumo will wrap it up. 3-1.
Okay, Alice, prediction.
2-1 United.
Scorers.
Sesko and Mbeumo.
Okay. Up the race.
Hey guys, big game for both teams this weekend. I think the pressure is going to be on both teams. You know, United were on a good run of form. Our players are finally clicking, but can we keep that up? The pressure is going to be on us, you know, to get a result. Similarly with Nottingham Forest, you know, they're doing well in Europe. You can see from the other day, they have that new manager Buzz and Sean Dyche, and his system seems to suit the team. So it's going to be a tough game for both teams. But as a United fan, I genuinely think we're going to win. I think we're going to win 2-1, and I think Mbeumo and Fernandes are going to be on the scorecards.
Hi, Colin. Hi, Paul.
That's
Just about to
right.
go in the supermarket to do a bit of shopping. Yeah, Saturday. Wow, Man United. 3-4 weeks ago, I'd have been loving getting Man United. They're a different animal at the moment. Now on Saturday, obviously I'll be there, and I can see nothing else other than a draw. And I think 2-2. I think we'll score, but I think we'll concede. I can't see us winning. We desperately need the points. Even if we win, we're still in the relegation zone because the nearest team to us are 4 points ahead. But, I'd take a point on Saturday. I would take a point on Saturday. What I don't want is United to come down to the City ground and beat us. That would be a real setback, really. But look, if we get a point on Saturday, I would be happy, and then going off to Vienna, Sturm Graz on Wednesday to pick up the 3 points there, because I do believe we'll win that on Thursday. Sorry, but look, let's get over Saturday first and see if we can score goals. But a 2-2 result would be my prophecy for next Saturday. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
My prediction for this weekend, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Man U's bubble's going to burst and we're going to be the ones to pop it. I'm going to go for Gibbs White to score for us this weekend and hopefully silence a few of the doubters and get the red train back on the tracks. Cheers.
Okay, Matt, your prediction?
Forest, no. Man United, no.
0-0.
Yeah.
No goals.
No.
Useless guy. Hated City.
City best.
So my prediction, I say 3-1 Man United.
Scorers?
Oh God, I don't know any players. Nottingham Forest. So Man United will score first half an hour, then Nottingham Forest come back. 2 goals second half by Man United. Then.
No, you don't know the scores.
Surely Maguire. Oh yeah, Maguire.
So there we go. So that was thanks to Colin, Dave, Kevin, and the Kelly family for that. I just need to point out that's a mad family for football, and Alice is the best footballer among them. She scores goals for fun. She's playing for a local league, playing for a county league as well. So, and my mate Matty, Man City fan, but that could change with the wind. He changes. If they lose 2 or 3 games, he'll be back supporting Man United again. But anyway, thanks. But the overall tone there, Colin, is that Man United's going to win. That's the opinion, or a draw.
Yeah, well, fans. The thing I was thinking to myself was, nobody ever predicts a 0-0, and then the young lad come on and predicted 0-0. It's always possible. Well, yeah, I mean, the sort of, if you were looking into it to a certain level and looking at form, where to have the last 5 games, and when you for gambling, you would say United are the form team, and therefore should win. But football, luckily, doesn't always go like that. And Dyche will have had another week to have worked with the team early. Porto was like a big I think the Portuguese teams comparatively are a bit weaker these days. Bournemouth Bournemouth away, as in Bournemouth at home, or a strong unit, and it was probably a little bit unlucky for Forest that they got them.
And Colin, I will say to you, Bournemouth have always been a bogey team for us. It's an honesty. Amal mentioned that later on when I play his video. We'll move on to Spurs now. Just before we do, Cal Kinsley was the guy with the Dublin accent there. Look him up on Instagram. He's a comedian, comedy_Callahan on Instagram, up and coming comedian, and he's a very funny guy. So look him up, guys. He's very good. Perfect Sedge or Sedgeway, Colin. You're playing United next week. But first, you've got Newcastle tonight. Expectation?
Yeah.
It's tonight, isn't it? Spurs or Newcastle tonight.
It is.
What's your expectations tonight?
Yeah. My expectation, I'm not worried about it. I'm always worried. I think Spurs need to, Newcastle are the holders, so they'll be wanting to do well. I think it's who rotates least and have Spurs an appetite for it. We could win this. We're capable of winning it. And if we've got the appetite for it, I think we may just pull it off. And I really hope so. I think it would be a good big statement for us. But I mean, really, we need a trophy this year as well as a Champions League placing. And people say, well, it's a minor trophy. There are no minor trophies in my world, They're all worth winning. Some are harder to win, I can acknowledge, but they're all worth winning. So I've got a particular to edge it tonight, yeah.
I was looking at your results there. I wrote them down here. So Everton draw 2-2, Wolves 1-1, draw, Leeds you won 2-1, Villa you won 2-1, Everton 3-0. What does that tell us about your credentials, Colin? Are you a top 4, 5, or 6th place team at the moment?
Yeah, I think we are, but we're not any higher than that. I think there are 2 or 3 reasons. One is, I think, a lack of a genuine centre forward goal scorer. Whether the new guy Money or else Solanke when he comes back will fit the bill properly. I don't know. Probably neither is what I really would love to have. £100 million striker in Harry Kane, and we know what one looks like, and we know what they play like. I think we're short there, and I think the players have done well to get goals, but we seem more fluid away from home, and maybe that's because we get a bit more space. Whereas at home, when the other team compresses the space, we seem to be a little bit lost in terms of a goal-scoring moment. We've got a couple of goals between Carr and Paulino and all. And it's good that midfielders get into the box and get into the areas, but I think we need a centre-forward goal scorer. Yeah, I mean, we lost some as well, so that's one reason. I think the other reason is it will take time to just get to get a new identity and a new shape, and that will just simply take time. And the other one is, I think, frankly, from 1 to 11 or 1 to 14 or 1 to, we're probably just not. We're just a bit short of City, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool, and that has been through the years of Levy's work, which I've talked about before.
Yeah.
But to be positive about that, I think from last year, what I would like was a 17th on a trophy. I would like to see this year 4th or 5th on a trophy, and we can certainly say the Frank Revolution's on its way. Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing how we have to review our expectations. There, Amos saying in there, he's saying that he's maybe mirroring what Colin's saying about Chelsea, that they're in a mess. He reckons that you're reading on X today that Maresca's in danger of being sacked, and they're looking at Areola from Bournemouth. I'm not sure that'll happen, but if it does, it does. It indicates that there's unrest in the camp, doesn't it?
Well, there's always unrest. That's what a symbol of unrest, but they keep winning things. And Maresca, he won last year. Admittedly, it was the Conference League, but still a trophy. Somebody will go for Areola, but I hope it's not Chelsea, in the sense that Chelsea are a bit like Real Madrid. Managers only last 3 years max, and then they're out. It's a sort of conveyor belt. I think this guy is somebody who needs, dare I say, the project, where he can start at A and get to Z. And you can see the improvements and changes that have been made in Bournemouth. Bournemouth were a side likely to go down, struggling to stay up. And now, my goodness, for a while they were second in the Premiership. And they're no goats too. They're a good team. They're deceptively good.
Belfast
lost players, They're no goats too. That means they're very good. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, well, that could happen, but I think Chelsea just thrive on chaos, I
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think they have a 5 year. It's a 5 month project with them. 5 weeks,
Yeah.
God knows.
I know what you mean. 5 weeks, 5 months.
Is he under
So,
threat? He's not under no more or less threat than any Chelsea manager since Mourinho was.
yeah.
So
Sorry, I was just
it could go. I
I
don't
was
think he will.
following the I was just following the comments there, and it diverted us away from the conversation with Spurs.
For
Colin,
Spurs, yeah.
tell me this: if you were talking to somebody in a bar who had not watched Spurs play, how
Hmm.
would you describe how Thomas Frank sets them up? Because I don't know, and I've watched them. I don't really know how he's setting these up and what his plan is. And the second question is: Brendan Johnson out of favour with him?
Oh, no, not Johnson. Oh my God, not another season of that. The first question is, how did he set them up? He sets us up to be a lot harder to beat and to pass the ball through than we were. That we try to break from the back, but that we also mix it. You will see that he also breaks quickly. There's a longer ball along diagonal, which was tried against Everton quite a lot the other day with success. And we also have done a lot more work on set pieces. Big Ange infamously seemed to not care about them. I saw it was a good example. It was a poor game, I think, and it highlighted Everton were pretty poor still. And Tottenham gave Greeley the ball and let him play over in that corner, for the effect he really had in the game. He had a few moments, but not really for the home team. And Tottenham weren't that wonderful either, but they, scored 3 away from home, etc., on a clean sheet. They're harder to beat. They mix it and they have a nice tighter formation at the back. But having said that, we still needed some world class. Our keeper against Monaco and against Everton, so we're not there yet. We're more tentative, but we break quickly. But we'll only see that whenever Solanke and Kulusevski particularly are back fit and ready to play, because I think those are two guys who would walk into the team, and then it would help us find the shape up front. Is there an issue with Brendan Johnson? Brendan Johnson's going to be one of those players that will always be an issue with him. And in my opinion, I think that he does not play enough to his
No,
potential.
I'm not asking you that. I'm sorry, I'm not cutting across you either. I'm not asking you. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, do you think he's out of favour with Thomas Frank? That's what I'm asking you. I'm not asking you.
Slightly, yeah. Well, clearly.
Yeah.
If he's not being picked, he's out of favour,
Yeah.
And he's not. And I think that kudos and any for Odebear, Kel, or Simons sort of stay on the ball a wee bit more and try to work it through. Whereas Johnson's faster or flighty, he arrives in on the end of things. I like what Brendan Johnson does, and I think he would be a better player. And I expect to see him on tonight. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was saying,
Okay.
take it.
Final question.
Skin the full back, Yeah.
Final question on that then. Is Thomas Frank, is he going to be the man to win these trophies, to take you through it? Are you going to stick by him? Or what long term, is he going to be a long term manager with you?
Yeah. I think so. I think that there's pressure, to be one. I think it's very early. We're all very quick to judge, and God says, we're in the era now when Postecoglou's got 39 days with Nottingham Forest, so we're in a snap judgment era. That's why I also applaud Rat. So it's very, very early days, and I think that what I've seen enough. I'm not absolutely thrilled, you see, to the pants, but I've seen the word I used whenever Frank was appointed. Do you remember? Intrigued.
Yeah.
If you remember, I said I'm intrigued, and I'm still intrigued. And I'm intrigued about how the next month, the next 5 or 6 games will really tell a story,
Yeah, but I think
I wish we
so.
had
And you
our,
know,
unfortunately.
I have to say, and I'm not picking holes in it. I looked at the teams you have played, and really, I think that you've got much harder opposition ahead of you, and I think that could be telling for you. But maybe
Yeah.
these are just going to win your sins now. You'll be fine. I don't know. Okay. Moving
Well,
on
you know, the
to a
golden
quick chat
rule is
about
we always
Forest.
lose at Chelsea.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I was just saying we
Which
always
probably
lose at
didn't
Chelsea,
work.
so he could
Yeah,
make it as a hero by winning that one. You know.
yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully
Forest,
we'll both get a
Paul.
weekend.
Yeah, we
Forest at the
mentioned Forest
weekend.
there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, can I? Amma kindly sent in a video, and if I was to put it into words, this is exactly how I'd put it in. As I say, we've no guests with us this week, so I'll
Yeah.
let Amma.
Well,
We'll play Amma's video that he sent in.
yes.
And thanks to everybody who contributed these videos. Makes a big deal
Absolutely.
for us. So
Paul.
here we go.
Hi, Colin. So, going to talk about my predictions for Saturday against Manchester United. After Sunday, my kind of mindset has changed dramatically. From last week's performance at Porto at home and Dyche's first game, I was so confident. I felt like we had our Forest back, the fire was back with the fans, the stadium was buzzing, Eva's girls' fireworks were back, and it felt like, you know, when
Broken up, I think.
Don't know what happened there, Colin. I don't know what happened there.
No,
Are you
so it
back
broke
with
up.
us?
It broke up bad. That's better. But
Okay.
it
I'll
broke
put
up
I'll
when
put Amma back up there, and we'll see if we can get that going again. I'll just maybe take it to where he was before.
Yeah, okay.
No. So what I'll do is I'll put that up as an extra on the short and just see if we can get it. But basically, what he was saying there, and I apologise that didn't play. It was mirroring exactly what I was saying. Was after the game against Porto, I thought we're back. This is it. Sean Dyche is going to work.
Mhm.
Then we go to Bournemouth. We had a shocking game at Bournemouth at the weekend, and now I'm in doubt now. What the hell is going to happen on Saturday? I do not know. I'm worried. Do I think it's going to be a walk in the park? But I do. I think we can get a draw. I think a draw at the very least. And I have that wee sneaky feeling that you have that we might just get a win, but it's going to be. I'm very worried again, and I don't know why. Why does it have to be this hard? You know, it's just like, and you said a minute ago that Big Ange get 38 days or 39 days. It was 39 days too long, Colin. AI still has them at Spurs. So maybe AI is a Spurs supporter. If you type in anything about Spurs, they still think that Ange is with you. They haven't caught up with Thomas Franks there.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen for us at the weekend. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't know. We've no off-field issues that I know of. We've no major injuries that I can think of. Aina is the only one that I would like to see back.
Well,
I think
Paul,
there's balanced signs of improvement. Go ahead, Colin.
yeah, but I just think, you know, be calm. You know, if Dyche is the man, and last week we were all on, and he got a unanimous seal of approval, he's Stone and won. You know, he only had a few days there, and Bournemouth were the worst team, one of the worst. Arsenal away might have been the only, you know, at the minute. So he will have nearly a fortnight now to be working with Forest. So, you know, I think you're going to start to see bit by bit. You're asking me about Thomas Frank. Look how, you know, these things don't happen overnight. So, you know, you get the excitement at the start. And the Porto game maybe was a good thing and a bad thing in the sense. But he's had nearly 2 weeks now, so let's see the team that comes out, the setup, the mentality, the aggression that comes out next at the weekend. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, well, whenever I look at it, there's a few aspects of that. We had a game on Thursday night. We had a 4-hour coach journey down to Bournemouth from Nottingham. The players are tired. This week, we've no European game until the following Thursday. The guys are out there, by the way, and we'll maybe do the same as we've done. We'll maybe do a quick half-hour, 20-minute show on the Thursday just to get them live out there, but see how the viewers loved it the last time. So maybe try and arrange that with them. That aside, we've had a full week on the training ground with Sean Dyche now. So hopefully, we come out and we're a bit better organised than we were at the weekend. But it's worrying times. But yeah, I think you speak a lot of sense there by saying that that he give it time. He's only had a short period of time. I think
early days.
I think what has happened for us is we've come in with high expectations for the season, expecting the best season we could have for years, and it stalled at the first day, and everything's went wrong so far. So yeah, hopefully it'll pick up and it'll get better. That's more or less it for tonight. Unless there's much more to chat about. I'm very disappointed that Emma's video didn't play. I'll maybe try and play that just before we go, Colin. Anything else talking that's going on? You've got Chelsea at the weekend. We've United. Your predictions for tonight, please.
I mentioned come at the weekend. They're of interest to me. I try to point things out. Burnley, Arsenal. I think Burnley got a good win. See how that goes. Fulham at home to Wolves, and I've mentioned Fulham a few times. They were beaten again in the last minute. They're down there. They haven't won for a while. I think if Fulham lose that, I think they're in a relegation fight. I'm sorry to see that. And Liverpool are at home to Villa. Villa are on the up. They've had 2 good wins. So Poole will be tested on that one. So some interesting finally.
Yeah.
That's enough for me. Okay.
Yeah, and it's going to be a busy weekend of football. Your predictions for tonight, please, Colin. I did ask you there.
Well, I have to go for Spurs to win. Yeah, Spurs to shade it. Yeah.
Right.
I think the other games will go with form. I think Arsenal, Liverpool will win. I think Chelsea will beat Wolves. I think they'll have too much for them. And we'll have a pretty strong last 8 in League Cup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
prediction against Chelsea. I know it's a bogey team for you.
We always lose, don't we? We always lose when we're at home, and we lose at home anyway. So we're going to win. I'm going to go for it. It should have been at that game, by the way, but circumstances beyond our control mean that I'm not. I hope they get seeing it, but I'm going to have to go. We have to join into the spirit of the thing and say, Spurs might just pull this off because they'll maybe be like the away team.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. Colin, Amo's kind enough to send in his predictions for the weekend, so I'm going to try and play that one more time. Hopefully it'll work. You bear with me, and we'll just see if we can get it to work this time.
Yeah, thank you.
It's not working. I have no idea. Amma, my apologies, my friend, and thank you very much for sending in. Everybody who sent in the predictions, thank you very much. Amma, we will get to you next week, and we'll make sure you get a slot. I'll put that up as a separate video whenever I find out what's going wrong with it. Thanks very much for the chat, Colin.
Thank you.
Going into the weekend with intrepidation and a bit of trepidation and a bit of optimism as well. I'm hopeful, but I just don't know. The game's not televised.
There's always hope.
There's always hope. There's always hope. Okay, my friend, enjoy your game tonight. And we'll chat to you soon. Thanks very much for everybody who joined us in the comments. Please, if you have a friend that hasn't subscribed, ask them to subscribe, get us up over the 450 mark, and we'll keep on climbing up with subscribers. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care, guys.